Hello, and welcome to Candidates Up Front. This is a public interest election program of Berks Community Television and the League of Women Voters of Berks County. Our May 16th primary election is coming up. Democrats and Republicans will vote for judges, school directors, and county, township, borough, and city officials. The deadline to register to vote is May 1st. To check your voting status, go to votepa.gov. That's vote.pa.gov. You can register, change your party, locate your polling place, or apply for an absentee or mail-in ballot. The deadline to register is May 1st. The deadline to apply for a mail-in ballot is May 9th. The League is interviewing those candidates who wanted to be interviewed in contested races. For each race, the candidates will get the same basic questions and the same amount of time to answer them.
Hello, I'm Bill Litvin, a member of the League of Women Voters of Berks County. 4 candidates are competing for the Democratic Party for a chance to be Berks County Commissioner. They are Dante Santoni Jr., Douglas Metcalf, Jesse Royer, and Ismac Torres Figueroa. Democratic voters across the county will vote for 2 to be on the fall ballot. The Board of Commissioners is the chief governing body of the county. The 3 elected at-large members perform the executive and legislative functions of county government. The term is 4 years. The current annual salary for a commissioner is $110,339, and for the commission chair, $113,678. Please note that the opinions expressed in this interview are those of the candidate and not the opinions of the League of Women Voters or Berks Community Television. This interview is with Ismac Torres Figueroa. Welcome.
Thank you.
Ismac, please tell our viewers about yourself and why you are running.
Well, thank you, Bill, and to the League of Women Voters and BCTV for making this program available to you, the voters of Berks County. I'm from the city, born and raised. I was raised in the southwest section of the city of Reading with my parents and my siblings. And it's there where I had my humble beginnings, where I learned the importance from my parents, my siblings, and my grandparents to get involved and to be a part of the solution of your neighborhood and of your community. So it's there where I started my love and pretty much my passion for public service and helping through volunteerism, through serving as an elected official, and as well as pretty much the role that I have currently right now. Where I'm raising my family. We're currently, my husband and I and our girls and my nephew, we live in Exeter Township. So it has been a very interesting journey thus far, but I'm really enjoying it because it's something that I love to do, which is pretty much elevate my community, be a part of the fabric of my community, be a good neighbor, and as well as someone that can listen and bring about some solutions.
What personal qualities do you have that would help you be an effective commissioner?
So I mentioned that I was an elected official. I served on the Reading School Board of Directors from 2009 to 2013. I also ran a county race to serve as a state committee person for the Democratic Party, and that was from 2012 to 2015. So I've served in those capacities, but more importantly is the qualities and the skill sets that I have as a manager, understanding how organizations operate, being a small business consultant, which is a role I currently have at Kutztown University, helping small businesses within our county and 4 other regions, and as well as being a business owner. I also serve as the chair of the Latino Chamber of Commerce for the County of Berks. So all this gives me the experience and the actual understanding of what it takes to be an elected official and a leader of our county.
Are you involved in volunteer or community work? If so, please tell us about it.
Yeah, so for years, as I said, that started at a very young age. At a very young age, before I could actually vote, I was helping with voter registration because my grandfather, who was the founder of the Centro Hispano, Daniel Torres, he would always tell me, listen, Ismac, if you want to see the good in your community, you have to get involved. If you're not a part of the solution, then you're part of the problem. Don't stand on the sidelines. And so he got me involved in doing voter registration. On top of that, I'm very involved in my church. I'm a part of St. Peter's Roman Catholic Church in the south side of Reading, where I still go today. My husband and I have been volunteers for many different efforts, but the one that we're most proud of is raising dollars for our church. And we managed for 3 years in a row one of the largest gathering of churches over on Route 10, over at St. Benedict's Picnic Grove. We would pretty much have a huge festival out there. So we've done that. My daughters and I have done cleanup efforts and volunteering for small organizations, whatever their needs would be.
What are the 3 issues facing the county that you think are the most important?
For me, I'm going to be an advocate for small businesses. I've seen firsthand through the work that I do with small business owners the challenges that they face. But this pandemic, what I've seen is a lot of small businesses close. And the small businesses are the lifelines of our communities, our city, our townships, and our boroughs. So we have to be able to make sure that we have the resources necessary to be able to help our small business owners. Workforce. Our workforce is aging, but we also have an emerging workforce. So being able to provide and support those resources and programs to be able to help those individuals to be able to be trained and have the skill sets for the jobs of today. And third is our senior population. For me, that's important. My grandmother's in the city, and she receives services from the county through the Office of Aging. So making sure that our seniors receive the services that they need. I just recently read through U.S. News Today that Berks County was ranked one of the top 10 places to retire. So our senior population is definitely one of the areas I would focus in on, amongst other issues that I'm running on.
Many governments, including the City of Reading, have developed environmental sustainability plans. Do you see that as a useful tool to prepare Berks County for the future? Why or why not?
Oh, absolutely. I have been participating in the 2023 municipality meetings. These meetings are being led by the Berks County Planning Commission with the intent of talking about their strategic plan for the county and how the county, its redevelopment and competitiveness amongst other surrounding counties, the importance of being able to really drive the message. And the message is growing. And as the county grows, how do we redevelop with our assets? One of the assets that has been talked about at these municipal meetings has been the use of our land. And a really hot topic right now is the warehouses that are being proposed in different townships and boroughs. I think that really looking at how that will impact our environment is key. And I think that's why a lot of the residents have been making it a point to go to these meetings to be able to speak up where they stand on the issue of developing the land. I think that we need to listen to our residents. If what is being proposed doesn't work, then what's the alternative? We have to be able to generate revenue for our boroughs and our townships. That is a must. And there's definitely an opportunity to do so with the land that we have available. But at the center of it has to be what's the environmental impact and how can we sustain it long term? So I do see those tools as being useful.
Let's talk transportation. Is there enough money to bring our roads and bridges up to standard?
Based on the budget from the county commissioners, yes, I believe there is. I know that they're focused on the authority that was formed a year and a half ago, the Schuylkill Passenger Rail Authority, to be able to really get the county's transportation to the next level. And what I mean by that is by bringing back passenger rail. We had had some recent news that the fact that the authority has submitted the necessary application to get to the next process in the overall scheme of getting it approved. But that's going to transform our ability to be competitive not only amongst our surrounding counties, but within the workplace as well. So that is going to definitely revitalize our county, and I'm looking forward to that. So I have been participating via Zoom and in some of the in-person meetings as it relates to where we're at with the authority.
Do you feel public transportation impacts economic development? Should the county invest in public transportation?
It does. As I mentioned earlier about passenger rail, one of the things I did not talk about is our roads. And I do know that the county commissioners, they are charged with the responsibility of make sure that our roads are accessible and that our roads are passable, that we can drive on them. And I do believe that the county is doing what's best to make sure that our roads are growing with the population. If in fact some need to be expanded, that they're doing the necessary studies and public meetings to talk about the expansions that they're doing. The roundabouts that have been pretty much implemented throughout the county, I think, have helped ease a lot of the traffic that we've experienced. But that's something we will always talk about because the county, if anything, has experienced growth from the last census, and I project that they'll experience growth again in the next census. So these are definitely areas that we have to focus in on and as well as apply the necessary resources.
Are there other transportation issues or ideas that you'd like to discuss or mention?
I think as our county population grows, being able to have, as a resident of the county, access to transportation is always going to be at the forefront, right? Because in order for them to be able to get to and from their job or to and from, let's say, one point, come into the city or go outside the city for different events, concerts, or outdoors, access to public transportation is important. That's something that right now I think we're doing good. We're assessing the needs, and I'll be honest with you, I don't think I have anything else to add. I think right now what we're doing as a county with the strategic plan, trying to bring back passenger rail, supporting the current public transportation that we have in place is good.
Okay. Will our infrastructure, including technology, meet the needs of a growing economy? If not, what would you improve?
Our current infrastructure, as it relates to including technology, there are areas that we will always need to improve upon. I'll give you, for instance, with technology, access to bandwidth around not only the county, but the boroughs and townships. I do know that out on Route 183, there was a lot of talk about being able to get access to a tower because there's some areas where folks cannot get a signal to be able to make a phone call. So that's an issue in cases of emergency. So being able to really assess the accessibility to this technology around the county, I believe the county commissioners, that is a part of their strategic plan, and they are looking to address it. And as your next county commissioner, that'd be one area that I definitely would focus in on, accessibility to our technology.
Childcare is hard to find and afford in Berks. Parents who want to work are stymied by the lack of care for their children. Should the county play a role in this area?
The county does not have direct funding or impact over child care programs and services that are provided in the county. However, you can serve as an advocate. As our population grows, there will always be need for, especially for our younger population. I believe in the last census, in the county, there was more than 20% under the age of, I believe, 18. So that's significant. That's a significant population percentage. And right now, the authority I would look to is the BCIU and the programs that they have available for early childhood programs before the kids go into schools. So being able to advocate for any necessary resources, or let's say even small business owners. I've come across some small business owners that are opening child care facilities and understanding what are the steps that they need to take in order to be able to provide those services. But at this point, I would say serve as an advocate and really understand what the needs are and how we as a county commissioner can help those programs and those small business owners.
Most of the money the county spends for mental health comes from the state. The pandemic has affected the mental health of young and old alike. Is the county doing enough?
I think the county could always do more. We are in a nation right now, unfortunately, the news has been so negative and sad with what we're seeing playing out with regards to violence. And what studies have shown us is that what leads to the violence usually sometimes is a lot of the mental health of the individual. I am a big advocate for individuals being able to receive the services that they need in order to make sure that they live a good life. The county would have to be able to find out if there's more that we could do for the mental health programs that are being provided right now. I work currently with some small business owners that have small counseling, I wouldn't say firms, but small counseling clinics that they offer here in the city and in the county. And to be honest with you, they're telling me that the need is so great ever since the pandemic. We could definitely use more of those type of services, but those are private practices. So how do we fund those that are in the area of more public accessibility for mental health programs? So for individuals of all walks of life, veterans, seniors, our youth, is really understanding what's available out there in the county through the school districts, through the nonprofits, and see how us at the county level, we can continue to advocate and support them.
Building a new prison was put on hold by the current Board of Commissioners. What are your thoughts on when we should build, how large a facility we should have, and what program we should have to prevent recidivism?
That's been a talk for many years now as it relates to the rights of our inmates at the prison. I'm not a big advocate for expanding the prison. I'm an advocate for reentry programs and making sure that our inmates receive the services that they need in order to be successful when they transition back into our community. As it relates to the prison, we need to make sure that our inmates are receiving not only the proper nutrition, health care, but they're actually in shelter that's safe and sound. So looking at being able to make sure that the prison is up to codes and making sure that they're providing those type of services are important. Expanding it, right now I'd have to be able to see what the proposal is to expand to a certain amount of beds. And for me, I'd rather put those resources in making sure the reentry programs are definitely successful in helping our inmates. But at the same time, I'd have to look deeper at what the county commissioner is looking to propose, if in fact we're looking to expand or just be able to, I guess you can say, rehab our prison.
Okay, rehab, I think they're trying to update the facility.
They are, that's correct.
Public parks are a huge antidote to the cabin fever of the pandemic, and public libraries are where people without computers or internet go to apply online for jobs. Is Berks investing adequately in these facilities?
When it comes to the outdoors, I mean, Berks County is known for its outdoors, its recreations, its parks, as well as its lakes, its trails. A lot of folks have gone to these locations to be able to, again, reconnect with nature. These are areas that we definitely have to continue to support. This is what makes Berks County a beautiful place to come and live. When it comes to our libraries, it's being able to really advocate to make sure that our libraries stay open. A lot of times our libraries, for the future's sake, I mean, with technology and as we advance, a lot of kids are telling me they're becoming obsolete. Why do I need to go to a library? You know, I can find a lot of this information online. But libraries provide so much more than just, you know, access to the internet. They provide the books that, unfortunately, a lot of our youth are not, you know, going to and picking up. I'm proud to say my daughter still loves to read. I take her to our local library in Exeter as well as to Barnes & Nobles. But as I am an advocate for the importance of keeping our libraries open because it is a community hub. It's a community hub for a lot of folks. So it's advocating to the state to be able to make sure we continue to receive the necessary resources to keep our libraries open. And as well as keeping our parks, our trails, our lakes available to the public.
Please give us your closing statement. You have about a minute and a half.
Okay. So I'm running for Berks County Commissioner because I'm passionate, because I love our county, because I'm someone that has been a part of the fabric of this county, someone who has been available to you. More importantly, I have a vision for Berks County. And the vision I have is to be able to grow, elevate the programs, the successful programs that are there. I honestly think that with my experience as a small business advocate, as a former elected official, as someone that understands what's happening in our local and county economy, that you will have an advocate. You will have a leader at the county level that will be accessible, that will listen, and will be a part of growing Berks County. So I hope I can count on your vote come Tuesday, May 16th. Isamac Torres Figueroa for Berks County Commissioner, the fourth on the ballot. Thank you for your time today, folks, and thank you again, Bill, and to the League of Women Voters and BCTV for providing this show today.
Thank you, Isamac Torres Figueroa, for sharing your views with us. Viewers, please remember there are 3 other candidates for commissioner on the Democratic ballot: Dante Santoni Jr., Douglas Metcalf, Jesse Royer, and again, Isamac Torres Figueroa. You will vote for 2. For more information on more candidates, please go to the League's online voters guide, vote411.org. I'll repeat, vote411.org. All you have to do is type in your address. It will show you who's on your particular ballot along with the information the candidates have provided. Please be prepared when you vote. Use vote411.org. Thank you for watching Candidates Up Front.
You will find the Candidates Upfront interviews on BCTV and on its website and its YouTube page. And for more information on candidates, you can go to the League's online voters guide, vote411.org. Or you can contact Berks County Election Services, elections@countyofberks.com. Their phone number is 610-478-6490. And thank you for watching Candidates Up Front.